What happens when a powerhouse, I mean a literal power-generating company, built to solve a national crisis is brought to its knees? And not by some mechanical failure, but by a completely broken financial system. Well, that's the story of Japan Power Generation Limited. It's a company that was once this shining symbol of Pakistan's ambition, and now, well, now it's a cautionary tale. So let's dive in and try to piece this puzzle together.
So what exactly was this company? I mean, who were they? Were they a successful partner helping to build up Pakistan's progress? Or were they just a corporate ghost, completely haunted by debt? Turns out the official story and the reality, they could not be more different.
Okay, so on one hand, you have the official story, a company listed on the stock exchange supplying crucial electricity to the nation. Sounds great, right? But the reality is just a stark contrast. Operations actually stopped way back in 2012. A court ordered it to be liquidated in 2017, and it was finally officially kicked off the stock exchange in 2022. So how on earth did this massive success story completely collapse?
To really understand the fall, you have to look at the rise. So let's rewind. We're going to go back to the beginning, to a time when a brand new government policy was getting ready to spark a full-blown energy revolution in Pakistan.
Picture this, it's the mid-90s and Pakistan is facing a serious power deficit. I mean, a critical shortage. The government's big idea was the 1994 energy policy. It was basically a bold invitation for private companies, what they call independent power producers, to come in, build power plants, and sell electricity to the national grid. And Japan Power Generation Limited, or JPGL, was one of the very first to answer that call.
And wow, did they move fast. They were officially incorporated in late 1994, and just over a year later, they had all their financing sorted and were literally breaking ground. By March of 2000, the plant was fully up and running, pumping badly needed electricity into Pakistan's grid. I mean, this was the model working exactly like it was supposed to.
And you know, this wasn't just some local project. This was a truly global effort. The technology was absolutely world-class. We're talking cutting-edge engines from Mitsubishi in Japan, paired up with these high-performance generators from Siemens in Germany. The money came from major investment groups in Oman and Saudi Arabia, and they had a key strategic partner right at home with Pakistan's National Logistics Cell. This thing was a powerhouse from day one.
So all this international expertise, all this money, what did it actually build? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the incredible state-of-the-art technology that was powering this facility.
All right, let's look at the specs. The plant had a capacity of over 135 megawatts, which, near a major city like Lahore, is a really significant contribution to the grid. The tech itself was built around these powerful diesel engines that ran on something called heavy fuel oil. Back then, that was a pretty standard and reliable choice for this kind of power plant.
And get this, the heart of the plant, the real muscle, was a massive hall filled with 24 of these huge Mitsubishi diesel engines. Each one was a little powerhouse on its own. Together, they were this incredibly reliable engine of progress, powering homes and businesses all across the region. And for years, this system, it worked perfectly.
But then, the story takes a dark turn. And the problem, you see, wasn't in the engine room. It was in the accounting department, on the balance sheets. The entire energy sector was about to get trapped in this devastating financial spiral.
And it all comes down to this one concept, circular debt. It sounds complicated, but it's really just a simple and incredibly destructive chain reaction. Think of it like this. The government entity that buys power from JPGL doesn't pay its bills. So now JPGL can't pay its own fuel suppliers. The suppliers then, of course, cut off the fuel, and the whole power plant just grinds to a halt. It's this awful crisis where everyone owes everyone money and the entire system just freezes up.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote from the company's own records says it all. The circular debt crisis wasn't some abstract problem. It created severe liquidity issues. That's corporate speak for the cash ran out. And that led directly to JPGL defaulting on its most important payments. The financial engine had seized, and you just knew the mechanical ones were next.
So once the money stopped flowing, it was really only a matter of time. Let's take a look at the slow, really painful process of this pioneer getting unplugged from the very market it was built to save.
Remember that first timeline we saw? The one about their incredible rise? Well, this one tells a very, very different story. The beginning of the end was in 2012, when all the financial drama forced the plant to just shut down. The heart of the company stopped beating. Then, 5 years later, a court orders the company to be wound up. Basically, the formal process of taking it apart had begun. And the final nail in the coffin? That came in 2022, when it was delisted from the stock exchange, a public announcement that it was all over.
And the consequences were just severe. Liquidation meant a court official started selling off everything, the plant, the machinery, you name it, just to try and pay back the massive debts. Delisted meant its shares were wiped off the market, becoming totally worthless for investors. And litigation, that means that even today, the ghost of this company is still tied up in court battles.
So after all that, we're back to our big question. How do we remember JPGL? Was it a success? Was it a failure? The truth is, its legacy is complicated. It's really two-sided.
I mean, on one side, JPGL was an absolute pioneer. It proved that the private power model could actually work in Pakistan. It was a shining example of international cooperation, and for a decade, it really did help power the country. But you flip that coin over, and it's a tragic cautionary tale. It shows how even a successful, well-run company can become a victim of a systemic financial meltdown, completely stranded by market risks and the soaring costs of the very fuel it needed to survive.
And that leaves us with a much, much bigger question, doesn't it? The story of Japan Power Generation Limited shows that you can have the best technology in the world, the strongest international partners, and a mission that is critical to your country, but none of that matters if the underlying financial system is broken. So if an engine this powerful can be stalled so completely, what does that mean for the next generation of essential infrastructure projects, not just in Pakistan, but all around the world?